What's going on, Big Blue Nation? Will Turpin, UK superfan here. We didn't get a Keys to Victory video up yesterday during Christmas, so hope everybody out there had a Merry Christmas. Just wanted to come at you here today. I also had one little thing to correct from the... there's still time. The game doesn't tip off till 1 o'clock, but we did a comprehensive preview video, the video before this one, where we broke down the Cardinals roster and some of the matchups. Also, there was one thing to correct there. I stated that game would be played at Rupp Arena. That's actually incorrect. That game's across town in Louisville. Just wanted to get that out there real quick. And really, this is a game Kentucky needs to flip their season. There's no doubt about it. To me, it's really important to end the losing streak. Not only is it good to beat Louisville, but really, honestly, it wouldn't matter if we were playing Abilene Christian today. Kentucky needs a win. It's just that simple. We've probably overscheduled, considering how many kids that we've got on this roster that never has played here at Kentucky. So today is to me it's a crucial time period because a win here today, no matter, even if it's an ugly win, a win here today gets Kentucky, with some positive momentum going into conference play. And it's a conference that's gettable. Today we're playing a Cardinals team that as I talked about in the preview video, they're really hampered. One of the best players has been out all year. And they really haven't had an opportunity to have a full roster. They've got several other guys that's been banged up. Obviously, they had to take a 9-10 day shutdown due to COVID. So they've had their issues, just getting practice time. And honestly, the last game they played against Pitt, it wasn't pretty. It was very ugly basketball, and I think it's just a byproduct of just the lack of practice time. And really, you're looking at two teams today that I think are by far anywhere close to their finished product. But when I really looked at the tape on Louisville, and then I started looking at the matchups on paper, and I started putting the puzzle pieces together. Really, one of the ways Kentucky can have a big edge, and I know Louisville as a team has rebounded the ball really well as a group, and they've sort of overachieved in that department, in my opinion. But they also played against teams that weren't near as lengthy as what they're going to face here today in Kentucky. So I think energy is going to be a huge factor in this game because there's two things of the four here that basically are energy plays, energy type scenarios. First of all, Kentucky has got to win the rebound margin, and I don't mean by 3, 4, or 5. Kentucky needs a plus 12, plus 13, maybe even a plus 15 on the backboard. If that happens, and Kentucky can go, say, plus 10 on offensive rebounds, then this is an area where we can create an edge for ourselves, especially for a team that struggles to shoot the ball, a team that struggles. One of the big issues that we've had is, if you look at the number 2 thing, eliminate bad shots early in the clock. When we've attempted to try to run our offense later in the clock, it seems like we're just getting pushed way out on the court, and we're running that little weave up at the top, and even then, we're not really aggressively attacking the defense. It's almost like the defense is attacking us. We have got to be able to get the ball swinging from side to side, or this team will never have a chance because, against Louisville especially, Louisville's really good at stopping penetration. They're really good at taking away angles. You're not going to really be able to drive the ball downhill against this team consistently. Like I said, they're just very good at help side defense, and they communicate really well. And really, their defense is way ahead of their offense at this point. Louisville's very well coached on the end of the floor, and so really for Kentucky, I say eliminate bad shots early in the clock. But really, what I really mean is that we just got to get ball movement side to side, make the defense work. because even when we've taken shots late in the shot clock, we can't be letting Louisville push us 30 feet out. And I don't think that they're going to play as aggressive on those switches as what Carolina does, because Carolina had the length to do it. That's sort of the way I think Kentucky needs to play on defense. We need to be, trying to really take advantage of our length in this situation, and that's why I'm saying we've got to win the rebound margin. I mean, we've got at least a 2-inch height advantage at almost every position on the floor. Next up, we haven't done it all year. We've got to play 40 minutes. I mean, guys, we've got to play 40 minutes today. I mean, not only does this team need a win, but this fan base needs something. And I'm not talking about the guys and gals that are out there on Twitter, bashing the players and all that. I'm talking about the core fan base. This has been a tough year for everybody. Not just as a sports fan, but once the basketball season started, there's a whole lot of us true blue fans out here that are going to support this team, win, lose, or draw. But and it ain't even, like I said, to me, it ain't even just about beating Louisville. Obviously, when you see Louisville on the schedule, that's the game that you want to win. But I'd like to see something positive happen. I mean, it's just been nothing but negative. And I've had so many people tell me, hey, Will, you're just trying to put a positive spin on everything. Well, not everything. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of things I can't sugarcoat. And, a lot of bad basketball that we've played this year. But, for the fan base and the team, and for all of us that are true supporters of this program, we really need this team to play 40 minutes today. I don't care, even if it's a loss. I want to see 40 minutes of basketball. 40 minutes of effort, and if the other team beats you, you tip your hat and you move on. But that's been the thing that's plagued us. That's why we have a 5-game losing streak. Is we have no ability so far to put together a full 40 minutes. I thought we outplayed Carolina for the first 30 minutes the other night, but and a lot of that had to do with the fact that like I said, that game was it was contested, with a lot of fouls, and that really played into Carolina's hands because they had all that depth in their front court, and they just kept throwing 6'10" guys in there, 6'10" guys in there, and they just had more of them than we had. And not only did they have more of them than we had, but they had really good ones. To me, that was the strength of their team, was their ability to get buckets around the rim. And that's something that Kentucky has not been able to do this year, is just score points. I mean, we've been muddled right there in that low 60s. I mean, shooting 24% from the three-point line. I mean, it's just not going to get it done. It really isn't. So 40 minutes of effort today, and then I think the game's probably decided by hustle plays. That's last but not least. I mean, the 50-50 balls are going to be crucial today. Balls on the floor, tip balls, rebounds that are, up in the air that either team can win. Watch these plays as this game's unfolding. It's critical. I mean, it's critical for us. These are 4 things, though, that I think, if Kentucky can win the rebounding margin by a good bit, eliminate bad shots, try to get good quality shots, and put together a full 40 minutes and win those 50-50 balls. If Kentucky's getting 7 out of 10 of those 50-50 balls, and you'll see them, balls that are just out there where, they're up for grabs, just loose balls. Just keep an eye on that when you're watching the game today. Rebounds that are just tipped up in the air, and either, both teams have a chance to get it. Start noticing the trend in that. Who seems to be coming away with those, because it'll probably tell the story on who's going to win this game today. I don't know how many of you's got to get on here yet. I've just been sort of running down here what I think the keys to victory is. So it was sort of a surprise live stream here. I wanted to get this keys to victory video in, and we hadn't got to do a live stream in a while. I kind of really wanted to wait to do that once the subscriber base was had gotten on up there. And but today I wanted to get the keys to victory video in. We couldn't get that done yesterday due to Christmas, so I kind of wanted to. I watched quite a bit of tape on Louisville like I said, they're really good defensively, and they cut the angles off very well. I mean, you're just not going to drive downhill, and like I said, they rebound as a group, and they've won a bunch of games this year, against lower competition, but it was more just about they just played with a lot of effort, and that is something that's plagued our team quite a bit this year. Is just at times just you look up and you're like, man, that's a loose ball that it just seems to always go to the other team, and we've made a lot of our own problems we've created for ourselves, but again, it's a lot to do with the fact that you're just trying to put so many new pieces on the floor, and really, golly, we need Keon Brooks back in the game. We got to get him back on the floor. I mean, here's a guy that actually knows the system, super motivated to try to make a big step this year. A kid that, has aspirations of playing professionally, and from everything I can see, just a really good kid. I'm really impressed by what I hear from Keon, and I'd really like to see him on the floor just to give this team another weapon. I'm not saying that he's going to be a superstar or a first-round pick. I mean, we don't know what the development is. We've not got to see the step that Keon Brooks took from year one to year two. But if you look traditionally in Cal's teams, and you look at guys, like a Terrence Jones, from his freshman year to his sophomore year, you saw, a lot more maturity and a lot more leadership and just a better understanding of what we were doing. I mean, you saw it with Deron Lamb, even with Ashton Hagans, Emmanuel Quickly. I mean, there's so many guys that you can really look at that really made a huge stride from year one to year two. And, I mean, really, I was excited to see what Keon was going to bring to the table. And I was hoping that we might, get a surprise and unleash him here today. But, from everything I can understand, I don't think that's the case. As a matter of fact, right now, I think it's up in the air about whether Terrence Clark is even going to play today. He's been battling an illness or something all week, and I even heard this morning somebody said he got a walking boot yesterday. So, that would be another scenario. If Kentucky is down Clark, that's going to change. It's going to change a lot of things around for us. But, regardless if Clark plays or he doesn't play, it's not like he was going out here and being a huge difference maker. I mean, he's really played one really good, one decent game all year. So taking Clark out of the mix, that's no excuse for Kentucky. We should still be able to, we've got guys on the bench, that are going to have to dial in. I talked about Dante Allen in the preview video, and I know, here's a guy that's, just a straight-up walking bucket. And I would love to see him play. And a lot of the, fans, you hear people talking on, Facebook and all this stuff. Oh, Cal, he doesn't want shooters out there. He doesn't let them make mistakes and all that. But, Dante Allen, I went back and looked at the tape on him a couple of different times when he's gotten into the game. And he had no clue where to go on defense. He was completely, out of sync as soon as he stepped on the floor. Running the wrong direction, missed a box out assignment. I mean, he was only in the game for like 4 minutes on one of the games I watched, and I was sitting there writing them down. Like, he made 8, 9, 10 mistakes like in 4 minutes. He just completely had no idea what the game plan was, and that's a kid that I'm cheering a lot for. But he's got to understand game plan, and hey, this is the scouting report on the players, and I may be guarding, and if we're playing defense, and and this is how we're lining up, this is how we're doing it, and you got to be in the right position. And if you can't do the basic fundamental things, then it's hard to get on the floor. So a lot of people are critical at Cal for not playing Dante Allen enough, and today very well could be that day. You got a Kentucky boy in a game against Louisville. I mean, Kentucky needs a spark plug. Something needs to happen today in this game today that's different from all the other games, whether it's a new player that's stepping up, or a player playing out of their minds and just says, "Hey, I'm gonna lead this team to a win." We've got to have something happen today. I think Davion Mintz is a classic piece for Cal to look at trying to, maybe get him to shoulder a little bit more of the offensive load, just because at least when he shoots the ball, it looks like it's going in. And so that's another big, that's another big thing I'm going to watch for early on in the game is, who's out there, making the hustle plays, who's trying to do things to earn more minutes, to earn being on the floor. And I think that's something that we're going to have to look at as a team moving forward is, and I think that's why Lance Ware's gotten so many minutes is, he's not the most skilled guy in the world, polished guy in the world, but when he's in there, he's giving you maximum effort and maximum energy. And that's what we're really going to need. Kentucky's really going to need we need things to just look differently than what it's looked these last 4 or 5 games. It's got to be, there was a 10-minute stretch there in the second half of that Carolina game that, if we just played any kind of basketball, I think we didn't even score a field goal for like 10 minutes. If we played any kind of basketball, we'd probably run away because Carolina played terrible to start the second half. Kentucky should have been up 15, 20 points in that game just by playing average basketball. So, that's my thing is we're 1-5, but it's not even the fact that we're 1-5. It's we have really been very difficult to watch. If you're a guy that loves high quality basketball or just any kind of quality basketball. So, today we just got to see something different. We need to see, maximum energy and effort right from the get-go. We need to come out and at the tip-off and play like we're down 10. We need to have a super sense of urgency. That's what I want to see today. Win, lose, or draw. I want to see a super sense of urgency. It's the Louisville Cardinals on the other side there. This is a huge game. It doesn't matter 1-5, 1-10, 1-20. It don't matter. It's Kentucky and Louisville. And as a true hardcore Kentucky fan, this game may have not mean the same thing that it meant to me when I was 8 or 9 years old, but it's Kentucky Louisville, and it does mean a lot. It means a lot. It needs to mean a lot to get this season flipped around, and I truly believe that these kids today will come out. They'll come out with some fight, and that's what I want to see. I want to see right from the opening get-go. I want to see some intensity. I want to see put your elbow into somebody. Don't be scared to get physical. Don't come out here and come out here and do what DeMarcus Cousins did. I wish somebody would have put the tape on of DeMarcus Cousins, Cal's first year when we played Louisville, and early on in that game, ball goes on the floor. Cousins dives in there on the floor. You guys all remember it. Sticks his elbow right in that player's throat. And right away, he let it be known that if anybody's going to be punking anybody out today, it's going to be us punking you out. And that's the attitude Kentucky's got to have. You're 1-5. There's no sense in being timid. There's no sense in holding back. It's time to get physical. It's time to win the battle of the 50-50 balls. When that ball's on the floor, I want to see 2 guys diving for it. And I want them to be wearing blue jerseys. That's what we want today. It's Kentucky versus Louisville. Our season is essentially on the line, in my opinion. You've got to find a way to get a win here. 1-6. You're putting yourself in a situation where, you're going to have to riddle off a ton of wins in SEC. And I'm not saying that can't be done. It's not a complete must-win. You can still recover from it, but you're starting to make your bed very, very rocky. So we need to, we need to see that intensity is what's going to win that rebounding margin. That intensity to value the possession is what's going to lead you to make the play that's in front of you. And that intensity that you need to bring to win basketball games at this level, that's what's going to be to get you through to 40 minutes. And that's what's going to win your hustle plays. And when you do those 4 things, you're going to get a win. You're going to get a win, and you're going to be, you're going to be happy. You're going to walk off the court and say the hard work finally paid off and we got a win. Guys and gals, I appreciate everybody for checking out our videos so far this evening. I appreciate some of you guys coming on here and checking out this unexpected live stream today. I wanted to get the keys to victory up. It's cats and cards, y'all. It's cats and cards. Throw the records out. When it's cats and cards on the marquee, it's something special. And, we've got to get a win today. We've got to get a win. We've got to send positive vibes to this Kentucky basketball program, these players. And we just got to hope that today, we get our last Christmas present. Christmas was yesterday, but we still got one more gift to unwrap. And I hope at 1 o'clock when we start tearing open that gift, I hope by the time we get to the end of the game, the smell of victory is in the air for Kentucky. And not only did we get a win, but it would be really nice if we could look really good in doing so. And really look like that, we're a team that can make a run at this. And, that's all we want. Just give us some hope. Just give the Big Blue Nation some hope, and give that UK Superfan Nation, those are the ones, not the Big Blue Nation. The Big Blue Nation's full of all kinds of different kinds of fans, a lot of fair weather fans. But I know you guys that are on this channel that are subscribed members, you guys are the heartbeat of the Big Blue Nation. You're the UK Superfan Nation, and I keep mentioning you guys because, on Twitter and different places, social media, comments on here, I've talked to a whole bunch of you, and I know the support for this program is way stronger than what you would think it is if you got around and scrolled around on Twitter a little bit. And that's something that I'm super thankful to, just be able to provide the content that I am able to do for you guys. I'll strive to continue to try to keep the content coming, keep getting better, and feel free to comment below, on any of the videos. I love the interaction. Any ideas, things that you'd like to see me do in the future? I'm wide open to all kinds of different ideas. And, if you haven't already, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go on this journey with us. This season may or may not be, one of those special hallmark seasons where we make a run at it. But, hey, if you're on this channel, like I said, we're Kentucky basketball fans, through the good and the bad and the ugly, we're Kentucky basketball fans, and that's what we've been our whole life. That's what I was born and raised on, from the time I was a little kid, I'll tell you one last story before I get off here. When I first started becoming a Kentucky fan, I may have mentioned it in a previous video, my aunt and uncle used to get me a UK basketball yearbook every year, and my uncle was a huge UK fan, and he's passed away now, but he's a Vietnam veteran and actually lost his eyesight over in Vietnam. And when I was just a little kid learning about Kentucky basketball, and he was telling stories about the old days when I was around him and Kentucky played, I was probably maybe around 5 years old. He showed me how he keeps up with the Cats and how he would tune into the games, and he would, we would turn the sound down on the TV, and because that's the way he listened to the game. He listened to K-Wood on the radio, and it became a tradition that I continued to do as I got older. I would sort of, as a tribute to him, I would, and actually I just got to where I liked it better that way. And I would turn the sound down on the TV and listen to K-Wood call the games. When you've been listening to and following Kentucky basketball like I have, I'm 44 years old, like I have from just a young child, that's not something you throw away. That's something that's inside of me. It's not, one bad season or, a bad year. I'm not going to turn my back. Like I said, you cut into my skin, I bleed blue, guys. And I know a lot of you do too. And I just wanted to kind of share that story with you. You know, just from when I was a kid, that was something that was real special to me. I always loved getting that Kentucky basketball yearbook every year and going through it. I get it every year at Christmas. So I was thinking about that yesterday actually, with it being Christmas. But guys, I'll get out of here. You know, it's about a quarter to 12. And, Kentucky's going to be on here at 1 o'clock today. And like I said, if you haven't already, there's time. I've got a nice little about 20-minute video that would get you ready for that Louisville game. Like I said, the only thing to note is for some reason, I don't know what was going on in my brain this week. I guess trying to juggle the holidays and get the video up and everything. For some reason or other, I put I said the game was at Rupp Arena, and the game is actually in Louisville. So my